there, overcomer. Welcome to our second episode. My name is LaTerra Wise. I am your host and had a little technical difficulties, but we are here. And I am so thankful that you are here. So if you are joining me live, be sure to drop it in the chat. Say hello so that we can see you, shout you out. And be sure to share this with someone who may need the encouragement on tonight. Share this with someone who you know has some gifts that they've been hiding, and you've been telling them that they need to be out doing the thing that they're really good at. That person, tag that person, tell them to watch this episode tonight because my guest tonight is going to pull out everything that is in them. She is going to remove the excuses so that there is no more hiding. So, before we jump into tonight's episode with my guest, actually, let me make sure that these technical issues have resolved themselves. And hopefully so. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep rolling. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully you can hear me. Hey, Tara. Yes, we are live now. Okay, so Tara can see me, so I think I'm good. So yeah, tonight's guest is one of the reasons that this podcast is in existence. Because again, as I said, she will pull out of you what is in you and remove all of the excuses for you hiding and remaining in the shadows. So I am going to bring her out and let her introduce herself. She is amazing. She is one of my purpose besties, and I am so excited she's here. So, ladies, and if there's any gentlemen watching, gentlemen, welcome to the show, my good friend, Miss Andrea Harrison.
Hey!
Hey,
Hey, LaTerra!
Andrea. How does it feel to be on this side of the interview?
Nerve-wracking.
I am so excited that you're here. So I'm going to give you a minute to introduce yourself to the people, and then we just going to jump right in.
Oh my gosh. Hey everybody, my name is Andrea Harrison. I am the Chief Shine Officer and Show Up Strategist. And one thing that I always say is that I'm just a girl from the Bronx who wants to make God proud. And the reason that I say that is because I want you to know that there's nothing different between you and I. God created us all, and we all have a purpose, and it is our time to shine. So if I can do it, you can do it. I'm really excited to be here tonight. I have had a front row seat to just see this whole podcast come to be. And LaTerra is somebody who's very near and dear to my heart. And I'm excited for her. I'm excited for you guys. And I am just happy to be a part of it. One of the things that I love to do is to strategize with people for how to show up, how to be visible, because it's time for us to come out of the shadows. It's time for us to stop hiding. It's time for us to show up and shine, because God has people that are assigned to us that we need to show up for. There are lives that we need to impact. There are people that we need to serve, and we can't do it hiding out in the corner. So I am excited about this conversation. I hope you are too. As LaTerra said, tag a friend, go ahead and let them know, because it's going to be on and popping tonight.
Yes. Now, y'all, she said that so nice and gently and so sweetly to y'all. I don't get that. What I get in my text messages is, can you please just post something? I am working on it. I am working on the social media aspect.
Why are you blowing up my spot? Why are you blowing up my spot, Miranda?
I mean, that's what you do to me.
the best, okay?
Yes, yes. So I know all the brightness and goodness of you, but I want to know where your shine started, where you the first memory that you have of your light shining and changing somebody's life.
Hmm. I would have to say that that would be on the New York City bus in the Bronx when I was about 6 years old, traveling back and forth to Harlem with my mom, who attended college at the time. And she would take me in the morning to school, come back after her classes, pick me up, and then we would get on the bus and go to back to her school, back to college later in the evening. And every time I got on the bus, it doesn't matter who was on the bus. A lot of times, especially if it was early in the morning, and there were people who were less fortunate.
Mm,
They didn't have a home. They
mm.
slept on the bus, under the seats, on a cardboard box. I would hug and kiss everybody and tell them I love them.
Oh,
And my mother, all 4 inches, 4 feet, 11 inches of her, it made her a little bit nervous, but she never stopped me.
right,
She never stopped me.
right.
That's, I think that's my earliest memory about my shine.
I love that. I love that. Even in little baby Andrea was out there showing love to the world, dangerously showing love to the world. But thank God for keeping us and for angels.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
All right. So, hey, everybody. Hey, Nyla. Hey, hey, my cousin, my newly adopted cousin, Jenny. I stole Andrea's cousin, Jenny, and I'm going to adopt her aunt and uncle too. So, they're my family now.
Yes. But I didn't hear you say anything about adopting me. You just want them.
I mean, I'll take you along because I guess I got to take Madison and Gordon and Mama Ruth in.
Yes.
So, yeah, you come with the package. It's a package deal.
Okay.
So, um, I want to talk about you actually getting to the place of showing up and shining because I know the journey. There are some. Oh, that's Miss Tony. Okay, hey, Miss Tony. Um, because I know your story, but there are people who don't, and you show up in a big way now. But I also know you fought showing up in that big way. So, share a little bit about that part of your journey.
Well, do you want me to start from where I was running from God?
I mean, that's probably a good place to start.
Okay.
You-
Yeah, I do that well. I'm an overthinker, and I know how to run from God. But the beauty about that is that He never lets us run too far.
no.
No, not at all. And there was a time in my life that I wasn't as confident, even though I still feel like, I got a long ways to go, but I'm a
Mhm.
whole lot more confident today than I was 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Um, and I didn't think that I was enough.
Mhm.
I didn't think that I was worthy. And I didn't understand my assignment.
Mhm.
And it took me a while to kind of catch up to where God was. I feel like, He's very patient with us.
He is.
He extends His grace. But I feel like my interpretation is He's sitting there going, "You
Right?
coming?
Mhm.
When you gonna get it together? Are you coming? I already prepared you for this. We all just waiting for you now."
Yes.
And so there was something specific that He wanted me to do, and He always impressed it upon my heart that He wanted me to go live
Mhm.
and share my heart. Now, the thing is, at the time, I was already going live, like multiple times per week, but I was selling a product.
Mm.
And God impressed it upon my heart that He wanted more from me than just that. He didn't want me. He wanted me to continue to encourage the people who came on the live and, live to
Mm-hmm.
inspire and all that stuff. But he specifically impressed it upon my heart that he wanted me to do a separate live at a separate time. And it was so like clear to me every weekday morning at 10 a.m. And baby, I ran from that assignment like there was fire on the trail. So much so that I was trying to pawn off the assignment to many people. One person in particular, um, Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
I had long conversations with Lisa about how she should go live at 10 a.m. every every weekday morning. I mean, we talked about it so much that we even had a name for her show. But God never let up. He never let up. And so
He never
finally,
does.
he's just good that way. So finally, I got to a point where I was at an event out in Atlanta, and there was a lady who came up to me, and she poured into my life, and the things that she said, it really it just cut through the
Mm.
it cut through everything. It cut through the doubt, it cut through the guilt, it cut through the fear, it cut through the feeling of not being worthy.
Mm.
And she told me specifically that my heart was made to pour out. God created my heart to pour out onto his people. And you know what I did, right? I just bawled. I just bawled. I couldn't do anything else. And then, was it 5 days later, I was watching another lady on Facebook Live, and she was talking about the fact that she goes live
Mm.
specifically to do everything that God told me to do.
Okay.
And I immediately felt convicted.
Mm.
And I know from a young age, I remember probably in my early 20s, my auntie Tony told me that God had a purpose and a plan for me.
Mm.
And I never really understood that. And then, as we get older, things start to come together.
Yeah.
But it was the culmination of all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the very next day I went live. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was going to say. I was nervous. And I even told my audience, I don't know if I'm coming back tomorrow. You're going to have to tune in to find out. And it's been almost 2 years.
That's awesome.
2 years.
It doesn't even feel like it's been that long.
It doesn't. It
Yeah.
doesn't.
As you were talking about that, it reminded me of this time when I was, I don't even remember how old I was, but I was old enough, probably in my early 30s. And I just rejoined my home church, and I was at a flea market, and I'm setting up, and this woman comes across the parking lot, and she's like, "Do you dance?" I was like, "No, I don't. I used to." I said, "But I teach my girls now." She's like, "God wants you to dance. He said you need to be dancing again." I said, "Okay." He will send people from anywhere
Anywhere.
to
Yep.
get his message to you. I have never seen that woman again. I had never seen her a day in my life.
Wow.
She came and gave her message and went right back to her little booth.
Wow. Wow.
But it's a beautiful thing to know that God doesn't abandon us even when we're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
He gives us that space and time to figure it out. Well, not figure it out, to figure ourselves out, to get right, because he already got it figured out.
Right.
We just got to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
But he gives us that grace and that space, and then he sends the little reminders through
Mm-hmm.
people and through videos and through
Mm-hmm.
messages. He's like, "I'm still here waiting on you." Yes. So, what did it feel like when you finally surrendered?
Relief. I was like, "You gonna get off my back now?" But seriously, after like just even that first day, the messages
Mm-hmm.
that I got were all confirmation that I was doing the right thing at the right time.
Mm.
And then as time went on,
Mm-hmm.
the messages that I got and the stories that I heard, the stories that
Mm-hmm.
I was told, it was all confirmation And even though I wanted things to be perfect, like,
Mm-hmm.
now I have a similar setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before I was just on my phone, just me and my phone like this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Talking into the phone, not looking professional, didn't have any words on the screen, none of that stuff. For a long
Mm-hmm.
time, that's how it was. And I realized that that's okay.
Yes.
That we don't need to be polished, because we
Okay.
are bright, brilliant diamonds, and God has already polished us.
Yes. Yes. I love that. And so many people don't get that message. So many people, like you said, get caught up in the feelings of not being worthy, not feeling like you're enough.
Right.
So how did you get out of your head with feeling unworthy?
Wait, who told you
And
I
are
was
you
who told you I was out of my head?
I was about to say, and are you even past that journey yet? Because I know for some, it's an everyday battle because God doesn't just let us stay at the level that first level he calls us to. He keeps calling us higher and higher. And so there's always moments where, God, you sure you mean me?
Hmm.
So how do you deal with those feelings?
Well, I tell you one thing, he sends people to speak into your life, people who will walk the journey with you, and not judge you, but
Mm-hmm.
love you right where you're at.
Yeah.
And so I had a couple of those people in my life already, and then
Mm-hmm.
he brought me you, and a few others,
Yes.
who check in with me, who on a daily basis, talking to me, encouraging me.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sent me a whole crew,
An
and
amazing crew
an
who is in
amazing
the comments. Shout out
this
to y'all,
yes,
Shine Crew.
shout out to the Shine crew. I feel like we need like a
I know. Yes, we need a call.
we need something, but he sends the right people,
Mm-hmm.
and then iron sharpens iron,
Yes.
you know um and then of course, my husband,
Mm-hmm.
he's my rock, and he's always reminding me about how amazing I am, and how God built me this way, and
Mm-hmm.
how I'm that he created me for the assignment that he has me on, and that all I need to do is relax into it. And
Yeah.
so, and then the other thing is the devotional that I've been reading for the almost past two
Almost two
years
years.
almost 2 years. I read it 4 times. 100 Days of Believing Bigger by Marshawn
Mm-hmm.
Evans Daniels. And I read that book to my audience 4 times. We're on like the last 30 days now. And that book God used that book to bring transformation into my life.
Mm.
And so I think it's like all of those things working together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you doing the work.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good segue. Speaking of doing the work, you have done the work. You have been doing the work. And as a result, we have this. This. Not the final iteration, but we have this. Full officially That's so crazy. Why am I about
Today,
to cry? It officially published today.
hey, come on, let's hold it. Let's open it.
Yay! I get to be the first person to talk to you. Look, I'm spitting over the place, but I get to be the first person to talk to you as an officially published author.
You heard it here first.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, why am I really about to cry? Oh my lord. Okay, let me get it together.
Listen, if you start crying, it's over for me,
It's
right?
over.
Ain't no overcoming the crying.
Whole conversation is just shut down. We're just gonna have to do this another day. Okay, so how does it feel?
Oh my gosh, to be a published author?
Yes.
First of all, I never thought it would happen. I never thought it would happen. I started on this journey for writing this book in January. I think it was like the 26th of January, which is like 5 days after my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in 2020, that's when I started the journey, and it just it just wasn't coming together. I
Mm.
had a coach, and she was amazing at what she did, but she didn't really understand the way that I needed to walk this journey. And so it just didn't happen. Fast forward to January of 2024,
Mm-hmm.
the 24th of January, 4 days after my birthday, because I had this thing. I wanted to write a book and have it published before my 50th birthday.
Mm.
And so it didn't happen. But in January 2024, I met Farah and realized
Yes.
that Farah publishes books. And so we started working together, and it's been a year and a few months in the making. And Farah's amazing at
She
pulling things
is
out of
so
you.
amazing.
She is. She's amazing at pulling things out of you. She's amazing at, she understands all the technical stuff. She's very
Mm-hmm.
knowledgeable. If you want to write a book, you need to talk to Farah because she knows
Yes.
all you need to know about editing, publishing, formatting. You know, she knows all of that stuff.
Yes.
And then there was still a little piece that was missing. And then, like I said earlier, God sent me you. And this book would not have been written without the two of you. It would not have, this book would not have come to life. The amount of time and love and understanding and effort that you guys put into this
Mm-hmm.
project, like I said before, I'm just happy that I came out and we still friends.
We still good. Yes. Yes. And you know what? I just realized that I always say, yes, it would have, but I'm going to stop that because I think that discounts and disregards the importance of connection.
Yeah.
Like God gives us our purpose, yes, and He gives us the ideas, but He also gives us the helpers to bring it forth
Yes.
because we can't do it all on our own.
And I needed both of you. I needed both of you. And it was the three of us together, just like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It took all three of us together
Mm-hmm.
for this thing. You guys were literally my spiritual doulas. The hours that you stayed up with me and Farah on Zoom, hours.
Hours.
I mean, there
Lord
were
have
days that I was writing for 12, 14, 17 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And there were nights where we all were on Zoom for like 6 hours. So, but God knew exactly what I needed. He knew exactly
Yes.
who I needed.
Mm-hmm.
And, Farah's she's brilliant, and she's analytical, and she has like this really like this 600 IQ brain.
Right? Yes. I was about to say she's like a computer in a human body.
She is. And then there's me.
Who is like chaos in a human body, but like the confetti,
Yeah,
confetti and glitter.
I'm a creative.
Yeah.
And so many people, when I tell them that I was a paralegal for over 25 years, they're like,
Yeah, I don't see that.
really?
Mm-mm. I still don't see that. I mean, when it comes to terms and conditions that you sit and read the entire thing, yes. But other than that, no.
And I was really good at what I did. I was really good at
Mm-hmm.
what I did. But at heart, I'm truly a creative. And sometimes I can be everywhere because I have so many ideas and so many
Mm-hmm.
things that God has placed inside of me. And I see things differently.
Yeah.
And then so we needed you. And we needed you, like the translator between the two of us. Like it just works.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Yeah.
works.
I love that. That speaks to the power of community
Mhm.
and you have built a beautiful space for women like me to have community of genuine relationships. And I'm trying to think of how many people I've actually physically met from the Shine Crew. And I think it might only be Dr. Lynn, who I got to hug yesterday. I was so happy. Um, yeah, but a community of women from all different places who have come together, and it feels like family.
Mhm.
Have you always known that you had that gift of being a connector of people, and being a safe space for communities to come and gather?
My mother has always told me, she called me a catalyst. I've always been the type of person where I want to help everybody else before I help myself.
Hmm.
When I was in elementary school, that the report card always says that she talks too much, that she should either be a lawyer or a talk show host. Um, I would always
Hello. Okay.
I would always, my mom, I wanted a boombox. So my mom bought me a boombox, but I wanted one that was play and record so that I could talk. And so I had my own talk show. And I'm the one who's always pulling people together, so I would go around the class and help everybody with their work, with their class work, and then figure out how to do mine.
Hmm.
Anything that I did, I always want to bring people together. Like, come on, let's do this. Let's do this. And I'm always connecting people. Oh,
Right.
you do that? Oh, wait, hold on. She does this. And want
Uh-huh.
to put people together. Always, always been like that. And it's just intensified over the years. And yeah.
Yeah, it's just something that you naturally do. You
Yeah.
you are just love and light.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how did you embrace your light? Because some people don't really allow themselves to embrace it, like, and really see that they are as good as they are at the things that they're gifted in. How did you start embracing your light?
You know, I've heard over the course of my life so many different things that, like I said, I think I said it earlier. You're too loud. You talk too
Hmm.
much. You're so bossy. And what I realized is that my bossiness when I was younger,
Hmm.
it just needed to be guided. And I just needed for somebody to say to me, "You're not bossy. You're a leader."
Yeah.
And I think that would have changed everything for me. So for a long time, I was hiding because I was always the smartest kid in the room. So of course then you get you talk so much, you always have something to say, you always know all the answers, your hand is always up, and you always want to answer all the questions. And for a long time I started to hide because I didn't want to be called out. I didn't want to be called out in that way. And it's not until you go through life, it's not until you really understand who God is and understand like his nature and understand how much he loves you,
Yeah.
and to know that he designed you and he created you and you're not a mistake,
Mm.
and that he designed you for a specific purpose,
Yeah.
that you were created for such a time as this. It's not until I really embraced all of that that
Mm.
I was able to stand in my shine and say, I'm good. This is who I am. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Instead of listening to other people who, because my light is so bright, if you are not confident, this is one thing my aunt told me a long time ago. She said, you're going to find that there's going to be a lot of people that just don't like you just because they're jealous of you. And I would
Yeah.
always say, why would somebody want to be jealous of me? Here I am struggling with all my issues. What are you jealous of? You want more
Right.
problems?
Yeah. And it's
You
not even that they're jealous of you. It's that they see the anointing on your life, and they don't know what it is,
right.
and they want it. But instead of asking you, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Where you could show them their own light and brilliance because God has gifted us all.
And
But
I've had people, LaTerra, who
mm-hmm,
have befriended me,
mm-hmm,
to watch me, to see what I do, how I do it, and then drop me. It's
mm,
happened a few times. So I've become guarded because of that. But God has healed my heart. And now I peep the game. Like I might smile and kiki with you, but I peep the game.
mm,
If your heart is not pure with me.
mm-hmm.
But in embracing my own light, I had to go through all of that. And I had to, like I said, understand who God is, his nature, for me to understand who I am in him.
Yeah.
And because I went through that and because I'm so passionate about it,
Mm-hmm.
that was why and how my whole the Shine Crew movement, the Shine effect, how it all came to be,
Yeah.
because I don't want women to be left behind. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
women to think that they're not enough, to think they're not worthy, to think that because somebody told you you were fat, or because they told you you were loud, or they told you you'd never amount to anything, that's not your portion.
It is not.
And so me gathering people, I
Mm-hmm.
want them to shine too. And that's where I got Shine with Andrea, because I realized that I always was just wanting people to come and let's shine together. Let's be, let's do great things. But I had to realize who I was. And even in naming the show, my show, Shine with Andrea, at
Mm-hmm.
first I was just kind of like, it just seems so, like I don't want to be about me,
Right. Mm-hmm.
but is how God created me.
Mm-hmm.
I just want people, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to walk in their purpose.
You do.
And I just want us to shine. So shine with me. Let's shine with Andrea. So
Yeah.
yeah.
God is intentional when he gives us names. He is intentional when he gives us names, and we don't. I know for me, when he gave me the hard work strategist, I'm like, nobody's gonna know what that is, God. Like, are you sure? So for a little while, I went by the Overcomers coach because I'm like, people know what a coach is.
Mm-hmm.
They know, and they know, that feels a little more accessible.
Right.
But then, of course, as God so nicely does, I
Mm-hmm.
got checked, and
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "That's not who I called you to be."
Mm-hmm.
Because that's not the way he made me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. Yes, I am a coach, but the part that makes me different from everybody else is that there's strategy behind the coaching. It's not just, yes, we do the work to change your mindset and all of that, but
Mm-hmm.
the way he made me, when you tell me a problem as you talk about it, I see it and I see the pieces and I can pull the pieces apart
Right.
like I used to do when I was a little kid, pull pens apart and pull
Mm-hmm.
spray bottles apart. Drove people crazy because I was always pulling things apart, but I put them back together too because I wanted to know the inner workings of things.
Mm-hmm.
And like you on the train, on and bus, hugging people.
Mm-hmm.
The pieces of our purpose are shown in the things that we do in our childhood,
Yeah.
and then God uses them.
Yeah.
And so when he gives you something,
Mm-hmm.
then it's important to like honor that.
Mm-hmm.
So that shine with Andrea is perfect because you absolutely make sure that everybody shines. I don't know if everybody gets it as rough as I do. Can you just please do something?
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to add on to what you just said. When you said that heart work strategist, that it didn't really fit, like you felt like you didn't fit the title.
Mm-hmm.
But when I met you and started working with you as a heart work strategist, it was very clear what you did. So sometimes for us, because we don't see where God is taking us,
Mm-hmm.
we don't see what God has put in us,
Mm.
we don't see us as the heart work strategist. But people who work with you it's very apparent. It's very apparent. And I think sometimes, we downplay our talents and,
Yeah.
all of that because, I mean, even though I was joking around earlier I wasn't joking around about the fact that Farah has like a 650 IQ. Wasn't joking around about that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I said, and then there's just me, I mean, we downplay ourselves sometimes. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not that I don't think I'm intelligent. I know I'm brilliant. I know that
Mm-hmm.
I'm intelligent. I might have Perry brain. You know what that is.
Yes.
Might have
Oh,
Perry brain,
yes.
so I forget a lot of things, but let's just rebuke that right now.
Right now.
Um, but we downplay ourselves a lot and we don't realize our brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started writing the book, the name of the book was Unleash Your Brilliance. That was the name of the book.
Mm.
And it then it morphed into Out of the Shadows. And now it's Show Up and Shine. So if you just think about all of the different phases of my life, the different stages of my
Mm-hmm.
life between 2020, January 2020, and where we are today in 2025, it kind of all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to unleash my brilliance. I needed to come out of the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm ready to show up and shine.
Yes. Yes. God sees the perfected stage.
Yeah.
Not saying that we are going to be perfect on this earth, but what he perfected in us
Us.
is what he sees and what he speaks to and what he calls us.
Yep.
So when we downplay ourselves and we don't acknowledge the things that he calls us, it's like he can't recognize us
Mm-hmm.
because he's looking for his child,
Right.
but his child is somewhere hiding
Right.
and he's calling his child's name.
Mm.
But because his child doesn't recognize their
Mm.
own name, he can't find you.
Oh, that's so good. Mm.
So it's so this book is so excited. It's so important because this is a call to come out of hiding and truly accept who God calls you.
Yeah.
So that when he calls you, when he's looking for you in the earth, when he has an assignment that he wants to give you and he calls your name, you will recognize it and be like, okay, God, I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna give you a little challenge. I want this
Uh-oh.
this I'm not saying a challenge, but this is not a challenge.
This one, LaTerra.
This is not a challenge for you. This is an easy question for you. If you had to give someone one tip to start showing up today, who's on that on the fence and in that place where you were of I know the assignment, I know God's calling me to it. They might even be like you trying to give it to somebody else. What's the one thing that you would say to that person right now?
Draw near to God, to your creator. Because when you lay your head in his bosom, in that safe place, when you're still, you can hear that small voice.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get all your assurance. That's where you understand who you are.
Yeah.
You understand what you are created to do, to be, to say. That's where you realize that that is your manufacturer. That is the person who designed you, who created you. And so when you draw close to God and you understand who you are in him,
Mm-hmm.
then it's no question what you were created to do. You just walk in it and you just trust him every step of the way. Because then if you know who he is, then you know he's already forgiven you. If you know
Yeah.
who he is, then you know that he's never going to leave you. If you know who he is, then you know that he's going to lead you. If you know who he is, then you know he's going to guide you.
Mm-hmm.
And so then there's no question. If you know who he is, then you're going to want to come out of that comfort zone because he's not waiting in there for you. He's waiting for you to come out of your comfort zone. He don't want you to look around. He wants you to look up at him. And so that would be my advice, is to draw close to God. The God created you. He
Mm-hmm.
knows how you work. He knows what makes you tick. He knows what makes you afraid. And in him, you can
Mm-hmm.
have your being. In him, you're safe. And any issues that you think you have, any flaws, anything that needs to be worked out, anything that needs to be ironed out, he can do it. He's more than able.
Absolutely. I love that. So, for the person who hears you say, draw closer to God, draw near to God, but they have that barrier where I know you and I have both talked about how our relationships with our fathers have shaped our relationship with God. So couldn't see God as that loving father for a long time.
Mhm.
And so the people who have been hurt by other people who represent God, or people in their lives who, shape the way that they see God, how do they draw near?
Don't give up. Don't give up on your purpose. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on God. Just keep asking, keep doing, keep moving forward. He's not going to leave you. He's either going to catch you if you fall, or he's
Mm-hmm.
going to teach you how to fly. So don't give up. Because if you give up, then there's no hope. But there is
Mm-hmm.
hope in God. So just keep asking. Whatever your questions are. I mean, that's what I did. I always look up.
Uh-huh.
I always look right there. I always look up and I'm like, really? That's what we doing? Like, I talk to God with reverence, but I
Yes.
talk to God the way I would talk to a close friend, because
Mm-hmm.
that's who he is to me. He's a close friend. I've
Yeah.
seen over the course of my life, from the moment I was born and how I came to be,
Mm-hmm.
I know that he preserved me for a reason, for
Yeah.
a purpose. And so if you don't have a relationship with God, but you're drawn to have one, or maybe at this point you're not even drawn to it, but you know there's more, just
Mm-hmm.
don't give up, because he's going to find you.
Yes.
He's going to find you. And to don't allow anybody to what is the word, pull you away from,
Mm-hmm.
or make you feel like that's not what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, because other people have been hurt,
Yeah.
they are going to talk to you from their own perception,
Right.
right? And you have to try and trust God for yourself. But I don't know what else to say, because that's what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
I i knew that I was made for more. There's something inside of you that you could just feel it. You
Yeah.
just know.
Yeah.
If you have that feeling and you know I was made for more, then you have to search out who made you for more. And if there is a barrier there, you got to push past your quit. and
Mm-hmm.
and when he sees your heart, and he will meet you halfway.
That's good. That's good.
I'm only speaking from my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Drawing near to God and developing a relationship with God is a lot of unlearning. When I, because there was a period of time, of course, we all go through our moments in life and things, but there was a time where I was just all churched out,
Mhm.
as Tamala Man said. Lord, that song is in my head now that but yeah, it's all churched out. And um in that space of not hearing, because I grew up in a church where God was like
Fire and
going to
brimstone.
punish you. Yes, fire and brimstone and punishment and all of that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't. really know if I want to know that God.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, if that God actually loves me or wants to just punish me and send me to hell. Like if I'm gonna go to hell, then I'm gonna go enjoying myself. But in that, I started to get to know God for myself and read the word more and then started to hear his voice more and started trusting that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of unlearning to get to the place where you can draw near to God. And I think that's such a good place to start because like you
Mm-hmm.
said, God is who created us.
Right.
So
It's like
who
a
better?
relationship.
Yes.
It's like a relationship. When you meet, like back in the day, I mean, I've been married now for 24 years this year. But back in the day, when you met when you met a guy that you liked, right? And you're like, "Ooh, you're cute." And he's like, "Ooh, you're cute." And what do? You spend time communicating. You start talking, and then you're
Mhm.
talking and talking and talking all hours of the night to early in the morning. You're on the phone, and it's like, hello, you still there? And and you want to know all you can about that person. Where'd you grow
Mhm.
up? Where'd you go to school? You want to know all, and then you want them to know everything about you. And then
Yes.
at that point, you don't know if you could trust that person or not.
Right.
We don't give God the benefit of the doubt. We listen
Right.
to what everybody else said about him, right? But just like when you meet somebody and you want to get to know them and you want to have a relationship with them, you
Mhm.
talk to them, you spend time with them, you communicate with them. And if you really like them and they like you, and you feel like, I don't know, I'm not sure, don't give up, right? You don't give up. You
Mhm.
keep trying.
Right.
You try
Unless they
to
show
get
you
to know
something
that
crazy,
person.
but God is not gonna show you something crazy.
Right,
Like
right,
that's the good part
right.
is that it just gets better and better and better.
Exactly. Exactly. But even in relationships where
Mhm.
the person is not good for you, you still want to stay, but you don't
You
want to
still
give
just
God a chance.
yeah. How do we
Oh,
do that to
right,
ourselves? My
right.
goodness.
Oh, it's going to get better. He's going to change.
And I know God is sitting up there looking at us like, okay, my child is just doing the most. I got one over here for her. I'm just gonna let her do what she's doing. And when she's ready, I'll send the right one.
Mhm. So, yeah, I just feel like we have to get to know God, know his nature. When we get to
Mhm.
know him, we learn things about ourselves.
Yes.
And then, if you're like, I don't know, you give the benefit of the doubt over here, so do it over here. And he will meet you there, right where you're at. You don't have to change in the sense of to be somebody else. Just don't give up.
Yeah, that's so good. So I'm gonna look at some of these comments because they've been chatting while we've been chatting. Oh goodness, Dianette said, "Oh my goodness, that was me too, Bronx church girl." Oh, it must be something special about y'all Bronx church girls. I don't, I don't know what y'all got going on over there. He said, "This is very intense, reaching the fibers within." God, yeah, Andrea brings that out. Andrea brings that out. Yeah, say yes. No. Oh, hold on. Where'd it go? Listen, don't be switching up my stuff. Yes. Know who he is. Yes. When you know God, you know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the beauty of getting to know him. Draw near to God. So, so good.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so excited for this book. So if you have not already gotten your copy, because we are now officially published, you've been acting brand new, y'all. I'm a I'm gonna give her I'm gonna give her a few days. I'm gonna give her like a week of brand newness. And then we're gonna have to gather my sister. So, if you show up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to see Show Up and Shine with Andrea, this Andrea that you see tomorrow might not be the same Andrea you saw this morning. So just prepare yourselves.
Oh my goodness.
Just prepare yourselves. Okay. But, Miss Published Author, tell the people
That's,
where they can get the book.
oh, you mean this one?
Yeah, that one.
You can get it on my website, shinewithandrea.com. Shinewithandrea.com. There are tabs there. You can hit the books button, but there's a lot of tabs, so you can check it out. But there it is,
Mhm.
shinewithandrea.com/books. That's where you can get it. Get you one.
Yes.
Get you one for your friend.
Get you one. And if you're a Kindle, oh no. Yeah, that's coming. Kindle is coming.
Yes.
Audiobook is coming. Because I think, yes, audiobook is coming.
Is that another challenge? Wait, hold on. Let me get on my let me get out my LaTerra things to do book of all the things that LaTerra has told me to do.
Well, let me look. Let me pull out my things that Andrea has told me to do book. It's not close enough to me. So yes, if you do not already have your copy, if you have not already pre-ordered your copy, make sure that you officially order your copy so that you can get all the tips and the gems in the book. It's not just about the branding part that you do so well and the marketing part that you do so well, but it's about connecting
Thank you.
with who you are. And it's about getting past those barriers that keep you from showing up
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and actually shining. I didn't give her homework, Jan. There's no homework today.
Well, I did have a homework assignment and I did it. So
You did.
I did it.
Yes. But yeah, so the people can find you everywhere online. Shine with Andrea, Andrea Harrison. Be sure to join tomorrow if you are not already. Subscribe to Andrea's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you can join us live at 10 a.m. every morning for Shine with Andrea. It is a good time. We are finishing. You're what? Finishing up
Yeah. But
100 days of believing bigger.
yep. Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. We're on, I think today we did day 72.
Okay, so we on countdown mode till the end.
Mm-hmm.
I got a little tummy tingle about that.
Yeah, because I have another book that I am going to be reading. Did I tell you about that one?
You, I don't know if I've heard about that one yet.
Oh,
I don't know
no?
if I don't know if I've heard about that one yet.
Oh, okay. So, another devotional. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm ready.
So the people have to stay tuned to see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'm so happy that you are here today.
Thank
This
you
has
so much.
been so good. This hour has flown by.
It has. It has.
Yeah.
What they say, time goes by fast when you're having fun, right?
Yes,
And this
yes.
definitely was fun. I really enjoyed myself, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm so happy that you were able to interview me on the first
Yes.
day that I became a published author.
I'm so happy about that. Oh, God is so intentional. He's so intentional. Like he knew this day was coming
Yeah.
and that this was gonna be. I feel like he's just up there smiling, that big smile. When you give your kids that Christmas gift that they wanted, and you're
Uh-huh.
just in the corner all proud and smiling. I feel like that's what God is how God is right now. Up in
But
there.
Latera, just
Looking
think
down.
about it. What if you decided to say no? What if you were like, no, I'm not rebranding, relaunching that podcast. No, I'm not gonna write that book. We wouldn't
Mhm.
be here right now.
So again, another
Thank you for
lesson.
your yes. Thank you for your yes.
Your yes sets people free.
Yes.
And your yes
Thank you.
allowed me to find the community and the support that I needed to be able to say yes. So thank you for that.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, we got a love note.
Oh, I love you, Jenny, Auntie Tony, and Uncle. Oh.
So thank you, cousin Jenny.
Oh my gosh.
So we are going to close this segment with your letter to your younger self. I'm gonna pop myself off screen.
Can can you still see me?
I can still see you.
Okay, I just had to pull it up my notes. So when LaTerra asked me to write a letter to my younger self, it just felt like such an overwhelming task. And then she kind of broke it down to me. She said, just pick an age and write your letter to that person. And so what I wrote, I feel like I want to go back and add more because I got very emotional as I was writing it. But this is what I have. Dear 26-year-old Andrea, I want to let you know that we made it to 53. All of the things you were concerned about, don't worry. When Jesus said he had a purpose and a plan for your future, he really did. And even though you can't see it, you are going to love it. All of the trials and the delays didn't slow you down. And trust me, you didn't miss anything that was meant for you. In fact, everything you journeyed through prepared you for this assignment. He made your heart to be poured out unto his people. You know, all those things that people said about you, like you're too loud and you're too bossy. There's a reason for it. God created you specifically for the purpose he had in mind for you. There's a purpose in the pain, my dear. All I can say is, Andrea, you are enough, just the way you are. Don't change. Don't try to fit in. Don't be anything other than your authentic self. God will send the right people at the right time who will love you for who you are and not what they can take from you. You are beautiful. You are valuable. You are worthy. You were born for such a time as this. Stay close to Jesus because from what I can see from here, he has it all under control and his plans are so incredible. The women who are waiting for you to show up and shine are so precious and they are just waiting for you. I see you. I love you. I celebrate you. Your voice, your loud voice, it matters. Just keep talking. Love, 53-year-old Andrea.
That was so good.
Thank you.
And you were worried.
I
Y'all
was.
don't know the fight that spicy. She should have wrote a letter to spicy teenage Andrea and told her to get herself together. But that was so good. That was
Thank
so
you.
so good.
Thank you.
Thank you again so much for joining me. Oh, hold on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you got cousin Jenny crying.
Oh,
Oh.
one thing that I will add to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I just feel like everybody needs to hear this right now, is that not only are you worthy, but you're forgiven.
Mm.
When you look back over your life and you see the things that, I mean, it was a part of your journey. It made you who you are, brought you to where you are now. You made it through, but there's a lot of things that sometimes happen to us, or it happens because of the choices that we make. And we tend to think that we're damaged goods or that we're
Mm-hmm.
not worthy, that we're not valuable, but you are forgiven. And I want everybody that's on here to hear that. You are forgiven. It's gone.
That was,
Thank
I hope
you.
you receive that. I hope you receive that. Um, yeah, God's not holding those that the past over you. We're not reminded of that enough. So thank you. So, yeah, follow Andrea everywhere. Make sure you subscribe to her YouTube channel and join her tomorrow morning for Shine with Andrea. Um, thank you, my friends. Stay in the room. Don't leave me yet. I'm going to close out the show, but thank you so much.
Thank.
Oh,
Oh, I
look,
just
I
said
got a
thank
little.
you.
I'm about to say I got a little trigger happy. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, overcomers, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode. This is only our second episode. I feel like it's so good already. And and we're just beginning. And we're only going up from here. And so one of the things that I want to do is leave you all with a little motivation at the end of each show. And tonight, as Andrea talked about showing up and shining, I want to remind you that it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start because imperfect starts produce purposeful progress. God will use that imperfect start to change lives, to save lives. He will use your imperfect start to shift the world in ways that you can't even imagine. All you have to do is say yes. Y'all see these these little chords? They have been on my mind. When I tell you they've been on my mind since I got my signs, and I keep forgetting to get my cord covers. I'm like, oh, I need to do that. But if I let that little thing hold me up, then you wouldn't have had this amazing conversation tonight. So start imperfect. Give God something to work with. As I tell you all the time, He will either confirm your path or correct it. So you can't go wrong if your heart is pure and you are trying to please Him. So if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me at my website, LaTerraWise.com. Be sure to check out Andrea on all her social media platforms. Get copy. I love you all, and I will see you next week. Have an amazing night. Bye.